No Man's Sky is probably the biggest game that has ever existed, and it somehow got even bigger recently with billions of brand new planets added in as part of the absolutely massive Worlds Part 2 update. And there are some things that you can see in No Man's Sky that are truly rare in the game, meaning that it's pretty unlikely you'll come across them without being given the coordinates directly to them. So in this video, I'm going to go over some of the rarest sites you can see in the game, and on top of that, I'll be giving you the portal coordinates to them so you can check them out for yourself. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get stuck in. Right, first up, let's start with the monochrome planets, because I think without using coordinates, I've only come across these like once or twice in the entire 7 years I've been playing No Man's Sky, which makes them pretty damn rare. The fact that literally all colour is taken away from these planets, barring in this case a red tint to a few things and the sky, is really cool, I think. You could come up with all sorts of amazing villain type based on these planets, like this one for example. You could easily imagine being the home world of, say, Darth Vader. The colours would certainly match up for him. But anyway, if you want to come and visit Darth Vader's dream planet, the galaxy you want to be in is Eastern Tam, and the portal coordinates should be on your screen now. Now, it's well known that the water in No Man's Sky has had some significant updates in recent months, with both the Worlds Part 1 and the Worlds Part 2 updates having changes to them. One thing that still remains incredibly rare when it comes to water is rivers. Now, most planets will have lakes and oceans or no water at all, but it is very, very rare for them to have anything even resembling a river. Well, until you come to this next planet, that is. Because this planet has the longest rivers I've ever seen in No Man's Sky. Like, usually you can occasionally get the odd, really short rivers on some planets, but this planet has absolutely massive ones. Like, you can fly along the whole distance of the rivers, and it doesn't take less than 5 seconds to cover the whole thing. It is a perfect planet for making a proper river-type base. And if you want to do exactly that, you want to be in Eastern Time Galaxy again, and the portal coordinates should be on your screen now. Now, next up is actually a first for me in 7 years of playing No Man's Sky, and that is coming across a planet which has another planet's rings intersecting it, so going right through the middle of it. And as you can see, it's pretty trippy as anything when you're walking around because, well, the point where the rings intersect the planet, they sort of follow you for a bit until you go far enough away from them. Then, if you decide to run back through them, everything is incredibly bright and you can't really see where you're going. So yeah, it's pretty trippy and definitely something brand new for me in No Man's Sky, which is rare considering I've been playing the game for over 7 years. So it's probably new to a lot of other players as well. Now, if you want to come and check out this planet, it's in the Euclid Galaxy, so the starter galaxy, and the portal coordinates are on your screen now. And also worth noting, this anomaly is visible as soon as you get through the portal because that's where the rings intersect with the planet. Now, Earth-like planets are pretty desirable planets in No Man's Sky. In fact, they might be one of the most desirable planets in the entire game for a lot of players. And the reason I say that is because I see a lot of players hunting for them or asking for portal coordinates to Earth-like planets in various places like Reddit, and not to mention, they're pretty damn rare as well, but this planet is not just any old Earth-like planet. Another planet type that is pretty damn rare in the game are planets with insanely fucking huge mountains. So we're talking about mountains that interact with the atmosphere, I guess. They're not the rarest planets in the world, I grant you that, but how about a planet that has not only got mountains that touch the atmosphere, that is also an Earth-like planet, but also has floating islands? I'd say that's pretty damn rare sight indeed. Which is exactly why I've decided to include it in this video. So yeah, not only that, but these mountains are so high that you are above the floating islands quite a lot, but you can also not see the lowest parts of the planet. Like, you actually have to fall quite a distance before you can even see the ground. And then when you do see the ground, you're still falling for quite a long time anyway. Now, in order to visit this system, you will need to have unlocked the new purple star systems that came as part of the World's Part 2 update. Now, I believe if you haven't unlocked them yet, the portal coordinates will say they're either corrupted or something like that. So, unlock purple systems first, folks. It's a good quest line anyway. But anyway, for this extremely mountainous Earth-like planet with floating islands, you want to be in the starter galaxy Euclid, and the portal coordinates are on your screen now. Now here's another bonus mountainous planet, and although this one isn't Earth-like, I've decided to include it anyway because the mountains are in fact probably even higher than the previous one, Like they're so high, you're basically peeking out the atmosphere, and that's pretty rare. Like someone has made a base that extends beyond the top of the mountain that I'm stood on, and if you go right up to the top of it, your life support hits zero almost instantly. That is how high these mountains are. You're basically borderline in space, and you're certainly above the clouds or about cloud level. Now, the planet isn't as nice as the Earth-like equivalent, but the mountains are probably, if anything, a little bit bigger, so I would recommend coming to visit it anyway. And to do that, this one is in the Eastern Time Galaxy instead, and the portal coordinates will be on your screen now. Now, we're going from one extreme to the other right now because this next planet has a large number of totally flat islands, and they're pretty damn big as well. The mainland itself is pretty flat as well, to be honest, but the islands are the reason I've included it in this video because I see a lot of players wanting some areas of totally flat land to build some epic bases on, and this planet delivers exactly that. A lot of issues players have with bases involves flattening land or mining land, and then the land is regrown back into their bases, and that definitely will not be a problem here. The planet itself, sadly, isn't a paradise planet or the most attractive planet in the No Man's Sky universe, but you could definitely create some awesome bases on this land without having to worry about the terrain regeneration issues. And not to mention, these are the flattest islands, or the biggest, flattest islands that I've ever seen. Now anyway, if you want to come and build a base on these flat islands, you want to be in Euclid, and the portal coordinates should be on your screen now. Now, next up on this list of rare sites is a true chameleon planet. Now, if you're not fully aware of what a chameleon planet in No Man's Sky is, it's pretty straightforward. Basically, if you look at the planet in the distance, it will appear as one colour. So in this case, it appears as luminous green, which is actually probably quite rare in itself, but the land immediately around you will be a different colour, and in this case, it's a really nice purple. Now, chameleon planets are pretty darn rare at the best of times, but they are especially rare when you've got colours as vibrant as luminous green and bright purple, making this planet look pretty damn nice in the process, if I do say so myself. So if you want to come and visit this luminous chameleon planet, you want to be in the starter galaxy Euclid, and the portal coordinates will be on your screen. Now, everyone loves a paradise planet in No Man's Sky, right? Well, even if you don't, I sure think you might like this one. Now, paradise planets aren't overly rare in the game, that much is obvious, but ones with white grass are. Because they're probably the most rare type of paradise planet, and on top of that, this white grass paradise planet also has the floating islands, so what more could you want? Like, genuinely, in all of my years playing No Man's Sky, I've never come across a white grass planet without actually having the coordinates directly to them, which I find just a little bit nuts. I also noticed when I landed on this planet, it was added to my wonders as the most perfect planet I'd ever visited. Though my wonders did get wiped last year, so it's not fully true of my full playthrough of the game, but it's hard to argue with that just by looking at it right. This planet does also have a bit of an orange tint to it, but I personally think it's one of the best looking planets I've ever come across in the game, so I've saved it to I've made a base there basically, and I'll certainly be spending some time making that base awesome. Now, if you want to join me in making a base on this amazing white grass paradise planet, you want to be in Eastern Tam, and the portal coordinates are on your screen now. Oh, and also, this system has another paradise planet in it as well, so don't say I don't treat you. Now, next up, let's talk about colliding planets, or perhaps more accurately in this case, almost colliding planets that cause some serious gravitational anomalies, because these are pretty damn rare indeed. Yes, technically these two planets aren't fully colliding, but if you go to the closest point between the two planets, you're going to see some seriously cool things, mainly true zero gravity. Now, just a word of warning here, folks, because although I have never had an issue myself, I have read other players have had some save issues with colliding planets, so I've chosen to visit this location on my backup save just in case something goes tits up. Now, I'd recommend you guys do the same. But when you do arrive to the so-called collision point, you can literally fly around without gravity because each planet's gravity will have an effect on you. It really is true zero gravity in No Man's Sky, and I spent ages just floating around between some of the bases that other players have created, including bridges between the two planets. Now, I haven't actually tried to fly from one planet to another without using my ship, but guys, I'd recommend give it a go, and leave a comment below letting us know if you're successful or not. Anyway, to come and experience zero gravity, you want to be in Euclid, and these are the portal coordinates you need. Now, even though it's technically not a site you can see, like a planet for example, or something on a planet, I'm including it in this video anyway, and that is the squid ship, because it is the rarest ship in the game. Now, I'm not including any of the ships that you can get as rewards for expeditions in that, by the way. I'm purely talking about ships you can find by exploring or waiting at space stations or trading outposts. That means I'm also not including custom ships in that as well, because, well, you can't stumble upon custom ships because you have to build them. But anyway, exotic ships are rare in the game regardless. Like, the highest chance you'll ever find one in the system is 5%, and then the chance of that exotic being a squid ship is even lower still. They're not everyone's cup of tea, which is fair enough, but they are the rarest ship in the game, excluding expedition rewards. Like, you barely even see them in the anomaly from other players. A number of times mine has been the only one in the anomaly, and I must say, I'm a fan of them. It's also one of the ships that I have never come across, like I've always had to get the coordinates to them. But previously my squid ship was my most used ship in the game until I got, well, what I call the Millennium Falcon, aka the Boundary Herald. But anyway, I'm babbling on. Here are the portal coordinates to the squid ship if you like them, and if you want to get your hands on the rarest ship in the game. The galaxy you want to be in for these coordinates is Euclid. Now, it's worth noting that I'm not claiming the variety of planets I've showcased in the video are the rarest things in No Man's Sky, just that they are incredibly rare to come across. And with that being said, are there any other super rare planets or other sites in the game, so even flora or fauna or other things that you think should be included in this list? If so, leave a comment below letting us know what that is and where we can find them. So if you want to actually come and see all of these incredibly rare sites in No Man's Sky but you don't yet have access to a portal, don't worry, because I've got you covered. I've got videos on my channel showing you exactly how to find portals quickly and how to get all 16 portal glyphs quickly as well. So I'll leave a link to both of those videos in the description below for you. But there you have it, folks. There are some of the rarest things you can see in No Man's Sky and where you can actually see them. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you are still here, it would be totally awesome if you could support my channel by hitting those like and subscribe buttons. You can now become a channel member as well, and as always, thank you for watching this video, and I hope to catch you in my next one.